Channel 8 News. I am your co-host, Monica Lewinsky.
And I'm Jennifer Lopez.
Today we're going to be talking about conflicts on the frontier, mainly Tecumseh's War and the Creek's War.
Looking at our first segment for the night, the Battle of Tippecanoe was a true catalyst for the War of 1812, considering it set in place the divide between the Native Americans and the settlers of the United States.
Along with that, Tecumseh's Confederacy of American Indians was a key factor that led to the unification, but ultimately spiraled when Tecumseh died at the Battle of the Thames.
Also, Native Americans weren't seen in the same way after the Battle of the Thames due to their choice to side with the British, which led to eventually more stereotypes.
As well as the fact that Major General Andrew Jackson led the troops against the Creek Indians, allowing him to be recognized by the people as a true American and a war hero, which ultimately led to him becoming the President of the United States.
And finally, Andrew Jackson's involvement in the Creek War and the Native Americans in general can be considered foreshadowing for the Indian Removal Act of 1830 and the Trail of Tears.
And now, on to Lindsay Lohan, who is at the remains of the Battle of Tippecanoe.
Hi, I'm here at the remains of the Battle of Tippecanoe. The battle received this name because the leader of the American forces, William Henry Harrison, promoted himself as a great leader to be the President of the United States. This battle has a huge impact on the relationship between natives and the settlers in a very negative way. During this battle, 50 to 60 Native Americans were killed and another 70 to 80 were wounded. It has been said that this violence has been influenced by Britain. Now back to Britney Spears in the studio. The fanciest gun on the frontier. It's so accurate, and look at this range.
Thanks, Lindsay. Now on to the Battle of Thames. This battle is also known as the Battle of Moraviantown. It was an American victory during the War of 1812 over the British and Tecumseh's Confederacy. Now keep in mind the Native Americans sided with the British. In 1633, Native Americans were killed. This was a very pivotal point in the war because Tecumseh, the leader of the Native American Confederacy, was shot and killed during the battle. Their confederacy quickly dissipated after his death, and Native Americans wouldn't be seen the same as before. They were forced to sign treaties and move them westward. Back to you, Lindsay, in the studio.
And now on to the Creek's War. Tecumseh had visited the Creek Indians to ask the warriors to participate in his confederacy, a turning point that led Native Americans in the area to be against American expansion. This led to Fort Mims Massacre, a small fight between the Indians and settlers that escalated when the settlers finally asked the government for help. Soon after, the Creek War began. It was basically a bunch of fights between the Creek Indians and the American troops, but it was the Battle of Horseshoe Bend that really escalated the tension. This battle, led by Major General Andrew Jackson, was fought against the Red Sticks, a part of the Creek Indian tribe. The Americans won, and the second it ended, Andrew Jackson forced the Indians to sign a contract that gave up 23 million acres, or half of central Alabama and part of southern Georgia, to the U.S. government. 1.9 million acres were set aside to be claimed by the Cherokee Nation. Soon after, however, Andrew Jackson was elected president, meaning that all of the previous battles could be considered foreshadowing the Indian Removal Act of 1830 and the Trail of Tears.
Well, that was a very educational experience.
Yes, it was.
Well, that concludes our time together tonight. See you back here tomorrow at 8 p.m.
I'm Monica Lewinsky.
And I'm Jennifer Lopez.
Good night, America. Bye, Ohio. Walk off.